So when it comes to thinking about controlling your life, sometimes people feel that they don't have any control over their life, and that's a myth. You are in charge of your own life. You are the one that's responsible for how your life is today. You may have listened to other people in the past, taken advice from people to do this, do that. But if you do find that you're in a situation where you're not happy, then you need to know, if you don't already realize, that you can change your condition. You can take measures to improve your life, to be in a situation you want to be in. And don't think that the situation you're in, if it's an unpleasant one, is a be all and end all of everything. Doesn't matter who's involved. It doesn't matter, what your family think. Because if your family are truly supportive, they will go with you wherever you want to go. If you are happy, they will be happy. But if they are only happy with you, if you do what they want you to do, then they're not really there for you. They're there for you conditionally, not unconditionally. If you do this, then I will do this for you. If you don't do this, then you can forget about it. So, you really need to think about, what situation do you want to be in? Do you want to be at everyone else's beck and call, let them choose how you live your life? Or do you want to be the master of yourself, of your future? And sometimes people, are brought up in a way where they're not actually clued in that they have choices, because they're in an environment where certain expectations are there, and they are expected to follow them. And it's not until you reach a situation that you can't handle, or is so difficult, that you realize that you've got to get out. You've got to be in a different situation, because you can't take it anymore the way things are going. And it's very important to realize that you are not alone. If you decide to go down a different path than the majority of the people in your life, that's all right. If it's beneficial for you, of course. If it's destroying you, then obviously not. And when you're in the big world, wide world, there are resources out there to assist you. You'll meet other people. It's just the same as anywhere, anything else. You'll run into all sorts of people, and some of them will end up being your friends. That will change as your situation changes, places you go to, places you deal with. And you will eventually find a place to call home, a place where you're not going to be damaged by other people's expectations. And bottom line is that if people can't accept you the way you want to be happy, then that's fine. You don't have to worry about that. That's their thing. There are some situations, sometimes people go through difficult situations, and if they see someone else going through that, they kind of, they worry for them. And that's also understandable. Somebody might not want to be involved in a certain situation because they had a bad experience. And that's understandable. So a lot of times that, these situations, they've not got to do with one individual. It's from your past life, whatever you've lived before, not only in this lifetime, but even perhaps in a previous life. You've lived in certain situations and you're wary of them, so you don't get close to them, and you don't want anybody else to get close to them. And it's usually a protective measure rather than, wanting to be controlling. But I think it's important to realize that you do need to reach a certain point where you think like an adult, and have certain expectations of yourself, for yourself, to be happy, rather than relying on what someone else thinks you should and shouldn't be doing. I mean, that's okay as a child, because you don't know any better. But you do grow up, and you should be given that respect, that you are an older person now, and you can make choices. You can decide what is happy, what is not. And sometimes I think, the decisions we make for ourselves actually are better for us. But sometimes people don't want to listen to us. They think we're young and stupid. And then you have the other side where people have so much freedom, they go a bit haywire and get into all sorts of destructive behavior and forget about helping others. They can't help themselves. So I think you have to be balanced. You have to think rationally, and you have to realize that the decisions can be changed, and it's not the end of the world. All right. Thanks.